Hello. Welcome back to the weekly Monday Motivation Podcast. No more excuses podcast and video cast. I'll get that soon. So I am your host, Sandy Ballard, the Badass Business Coach. Thanks for being here, for listening, for watching, and for sharing this with others. I appreciate all of you around the world who take the time to invest in you and take the time to listen to me, right? If you hear any outside noise or extracurricular noise, well, it's because I'm outside, right? Doing this thing. So again, thanks for being here. And don't forget to check out my website, badassbusiness.coach, and connect with me on all the social medias. And I'll give you a shout out. So tell me who you are, where you're listening from, and we'll go from there. And so this week I can attest 100% to the shitstorm, that when shit goes sideways. And shit happens because our brand new car had it for 1.5 weeks. I got hit, not injured, but just got hit by a guy who pulled out in front of me, and I could almost got around him, and he clipped my front end, and then he proceeded to take off. Yes, but instinct. I did a U-turn real quickly and took a picture of his license plate. So let's hope the little POS gets found. Most likely, maybe not. I'm going to hold faith, hold hope, hold on to it that the police here in Huntington Beach will do their job, and they will find the little piece of shit and make him pay for our brand new car. So yes, last week I talked about, refocusing, especially when shit goes sideways. And I can attest to that 100% that, it's because it's how you react to when things happen, right? So how did I react? Well, once I got through the emotion of that chaos and pissed because I was so close to being home and so close to getting around him that he just kind of clipped me, that I had to feel the feels. It was a distraction for sure, and that's just how it is. That's called life, right? That's why shit happens, is a saying. I once again, it's Monday, and this is coming late to you because over the weekend, if I don't knock over the table, over the weekend I just had to let the emotions process. I think I was just more mad about the fact that the jerk ass took off. Than anything. And the fact that we've literally maybe had 200 miles on the car. So just pissed about all that. But, thinking through, what could I do? I couldn't do anything more than I did. And, so looking at refocusing this week. So getting this podcast, video cast out to all of you. And I appreciate you for giving me some grace. But, my goal last week was to submit 3 speaking proposals and do all the publicist's work and to really kick ass in my workouts. And I got 1 speaking proposal taken care of, and I submitted 1 proposal to be on someone else's podcast. And my workouts, even this morning, when Steve, my amazing insurance agent, called, I was at the gym, and it just started with that emotion all over again, submitting the claim and getting the tow truck set up. And it just was like, man, just kind of took my workout off track. But, that's okay. I did it. So this week, same commitment, because I said 4 weeks doing the same thing, because, those books aren't going to sell themselves, right? And I also talked last week about a client who grew so fast. He was overwhelmed, frustrated, anxious, just mentally in a whirlwind. Well, he did take some time off, because I tried to call him and he's like, hey, I took some time off too. I'm going to call. I said, no, you need to reset your brain. It's a lot of times when we get into that overwhelm, I like to call it the bonbon moment. So for those of you who remember those little ice cream nuggets, chocolate coated, they're little round. I think they have something similar to them now, but they're not bonbons. The commercial used to be that you would just sit on the couch and eat bonbons and forget about all the troubles in the world. So yes, when you get into those, that's what happens when you don't handle the overwhelm and the anxiety and the stress. You just avoid it. So we want to try to not get into a bonbon moment. All right, just remember that. So luckily he did take a step and listen to me and took some time off. And so this week, much like maybe you, and there's a FedEx truck, much like maybe you, I know for me, it's refocus, dig in, get back to it, right? We've got to get things done. So what about you? How did your week go last week? What did you do to make progress on your goals? What did you do to refocus and make shit happen, right? Good shit, not like the shit I had. You know, um, when you check your progress, and that's why it's so important to check your progress on your goals, especially now with finishing the year strong. We want to make sure we're making progress, and also, if something happened, is it an excuse or a reason, right? Mine was mostly a reason, and then how I reacted to it was probably a little bit of an excuse. I wanted to be a little pouty, whiny, pissed off, and there was nothing I could do. I was just mentally worn out and just stressed out from it, But seeing Lola, that's what we've named our car, seeing Lola on the tow truck bed this morning, I realized doing nothing was not getting me anywhere. Doing nothing was getting me nothing. It wasn't getting me anything I wanted, So here I am. I'm ready. I've I've felt the felts, I've felt the feels, did all that shit, and now I'm ready. So when shit goes sideways, you react. Sometimes you do have to allow yourself the time and the grace to process the emotions, depending on what happens. So, looking forward, you can't keep looking backward. I did enough of the what ifs. What if I would have went and did my errands on Friday like I said I was going to instead of Saturday? What if I would have gone down Main Street instead of Lake Street like that, that gut feeling tells you it's like, oh, it's really crowded down that street, but I like that street. Now I don't. It's time to pull up your bootstraps and get to work. And so hopefully you're understanding how I feel and that shit happens, and I'm not above anyone of having that kind of shit happen. That's obviously the theme today. Shit happens. It was the theme last week, and I finished it off on Saturday. So now to finish the year strong, what will you do daily or weekly and weekly to help you finish the year strong? What will you do daily and weekly to make progress, to take steps? And, again, you can't avoid when shit happens. You can't avoid the challenges. You have to face them. Even if it is giving yourself a little mental break, like my client did. You know, I need to sell. I want to sell. My goal is to sell another 1,000 books before the end of the year. Not going to sell themselves. I got to get out there and do some work. I either have to do it or pay for it, right? And I've done a little bit of both. And if you're listening, you know who you are. And we're going to get back to it. And the thing is, do it or pay for it, right? Do it or pay for it. That means you either do it or you hire it out, or you find a volunteer, or you find someone to help you with that. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And, think about it. Think about doing your 6-week challenge. I have the 6-week challenge all set up. You can do it with me individually. I'll be doing my own little 6-week challenge, right? But, thinking about doing what you can do for the next 6 weeks before, those of you who celebrate Christmas and all that, or even Hanukkah, any of the holidays, but even if you don't celebrate holidays, 6 weeks is going to get us really close to the end of the year. It's going to get us into December. So, thinking about what can you do? I want to hear from you. Email me, sandy@sandyballard.com. Remember Sandy with an I, because my mother was a pain in the ass and just had to annoy people for the rest of my life. So check out my website, badassbusiness.coach. I will have the link to the challenge up on there, or you can find it at tinyurl.com. That's, the website shortener, tinyurl.com/6 weeks for you. And it's all spelled out, SIX for you. FORYOU, right? So look at that. Thinking about, even if you want to do something on your own, write down what you're going to accomplish at the end of every week. So starting today, what are you going to do for you? All right. So I look forward to hearing from you, and keep kicking ass. Feel the feels if you need to, but dig deep and play big. Cheers.